Hey everybody, it's Atheist for the Cause here, and wow. If Twitter is actually doing this, they have hit a new low. Charlie Gard's family claims Twitter is censoring their page, campaigning for a terminally ill baby. Can you believe that? Now, if this is true, this is truly disturbing. Charlie Gard's family claims Twitter is censoring their page set up to campaign for the terminally ill 10-month-old. The Fight for Charlie account is urging, please everyone, head over to Charlie's new Twitter page at Charlie's Fight. Users behind Fight for Charlie account, which has almost 6,000 followers, are understood to be members of Charlie's family. When I first read this, I thought that they meant 6,000 followers were Charlie's family, and I'm like, what? And then I reread it, and no, the people behind the account are Charlie's family, and it has 6,000 followers. They wouldn't give up on this account if they didn't think there was some serious issue going on here with Twitter. They announced the change of a new campaign page late yesterday evening and are appealing for help spreading the word. Their tweet in full said, Twitter is censoring this page. Please head over to @Charlie's Fight new page and get tweeting like crazy. We need your help. #CharlieGard. For those of you who don't know, basically this is an infant that there was a European court ruling that the parents could not take this baby to an American hospital to be treated with an experimental procedure, and because the court determined that the child was suffering and it was in the best interest of the baby to die. Literally. I'm not exaggerating. I'm not, playing this up for emotion or anything. The courts literally ruled that the parents cannot go to another doctor who has already agreed to do the procedure, and the parents who have already raised the money to take them there and have the procedure done. And the European court ruled that the parents can't take the baby, and this, for some reason, the hospital is actually fighting. They actually went to court and fought the parents on it. So anyways, please, the Twitter account fell short of stating exactly what material they believe had been blocked from social media. But by the way, don't forget, the UK has the NHS. I think, my personal belief here is that this is about precedent. The NHS doesn't want people to believe that their care is worse. They don't want people to have a habit of leaving the country for better care, and then eventually there's a backlash against government-run healthcare there because they'll make an argument that the poor aren't receiving as good of care as the rich because the poor are condemned to die, and then the rich get to take their children and to other places where they can live. And I think this is about precedent, even though they're not saying that, but you can read into it as you like. The claim sparked an angry backlash from social media users who accused Twitter of being disgraceful and anti-life. One user, Claire Hunford, tweeted the social media giant asking, Twitter, why are you censoring Fight Charlie and Charlie's Fight? It's not right or fair. This is social media, freedom of speech. Twitter did not appear to respond to the tweet. Another user, Caitlin Harris, tweeted, seriously, Twitter? You're that anti-life that you have to censor a page trying to save an already born baby? Unbelievable. Mirror Online repeatedly tried to contact Twitter for an official statement, but the firm declined to comment. It instead, it's really interesting you say, well, Twitter's a big company and all that. This is a huge issue that, as you'll see later, leaders of countries are weighing in on. So Twitter could certainly weigh in on this if they wanted to. If there was any confusion here that could be easily cleared up, Twitter easily could have done that. It instead referred us to its Twitter rules. They state that Twitter does not censor tweets. My red flags go up there. Twitter doesn't censor tweets? Is there anybody out there that still believes this shit? A source told Mirror Online that Twitter's robots might be automatically filtering some tweets, repetitively using the same hashtag, especially given the sheer number of people tweeting hashtag Charlie Gard worldwide since the intervention of Donald Trump and the Pope. Funny that it doesn't seem that a lot of leftist hashtags get caught in that same filter. Earlier today, the Italian government claimed Great Ormond Street Hospital refused to let Charlie fly to the Pope's hospital in the Vatican because of legal judgments. So not only could the baby not go to the United States, and maybe you could make an argument about, flying could be dangerous, or maybe there's no way to get the baby to the United States or something. That's clearly not the problem here, because they won't even let the baby go to Italy, which would be a much easier venture. Italian ministers plan to hold crisis talks with UK Foreign Secretary. Crisis talks with UK Foreign Secretary Boris Johnson today after saying Gosh had told them their hands were tied by rulings that prevented the tot from moving. The Vatican's Children's Hospital had offered yesterday to take in the terminally ill baby boy. It comes after Donald Trump offered to help Charlie, and an unnamed U.S. hospital said it was willing to provide treatment for free. That's exactly what I was talking about with the hospital. And Donald Trump has even attempted to chime in here. The U.S. president tweeted on Tuesday, "If we can help little Charlie Gard, as per our friends in the UK and the Pope, we would be delighted to do so." Yet, Twitter can't be bothered to have an official comment on this. The 10-month-old boy, who suffers from a rare genetic condition and has brain damage, has been at the center of a lengthy legal battle and has made headlines around the world. On Thursday, his devastated parents, Chris and Connie, lost a legal battle when the European Court of Human Rights ruled his life support could be switched off. Great Ormond Street Hospital have allowed Connie Yates and Chris Gard a few more days to say goodbye to their son. Now, just imagine if, this how ridiculous this whole story is. And, the court's judgment was based on that it was better for Charlie himself to die. And I just don't buy that when there are other doctors and hospitals willing to try and treat him. That's where it's hard for me. If there were no other doctors, that to go to, if there were no experimental procedures to try, if everything was basically exhausted, switching the life support off here seems much more reasonable when the parents have the money, to take this baby to have a procedure done. It's not like we'd be incurring costs on hospitals or anything, because the hospitals will be paid. The funds are already there. Even though they're willing to do it for free, because, doing an experimental procedure is beneficial to humanity. So, and this is not a crazy experimental procedure. This is a procedure that's actually been done before. It's just not tested to the extent where you would, mainstream it. But here you have, this is what especially capitalists and the private market healthcare people, this is what they argue, that when you give healthcare to the government and have the government control it, they start making moral judgments. The government has to. And they don't necessarily have the attachment or the best interest of the child in mind or the person in mind. And you create problems like this. Who do you really want deciding here? Do you want the government deciding whether the child should live or die, or do you want the parents deciding? I would much rather the parents decide than the government. How about you? What you can think about that, and I may be doing more videos on this. This is pretty sad, Trump has tried to step in, and that's another thing about Trump. This is a country that has petitioned to ban Trump from the country. People make Trump out to be some evil guy. Is this what some evil guy does to try to get involved and save this baby's life? When European courts and UK hospitals have condemned this baby's life to death? Is Trump really an evil person? Think about that. And think about the Pope stepping in. And now there's an Italy crisis. There's a crisis between Italy and the UK. There's crisis management going on over this situation. And this is the human rights. You always have to be skeptical of human rights because the European Union or European Human Rights Council is determining that Charlie Gard should stay and die in the UK. Some human right, huh? Have a good one, guys.